What's up, everybody? Victor Pena here, OmniPrint International. We're right here at ISS Long Beach 2024. Man, what's up, Sean? I have a good buddy, Sean from SC Shirts and Hoodie. What's up, man?
Here again, ISS, most important show of the year. So we at least got to make this show. You know, this is the most important one when it comes to machines, apparel, relationships. This is where they start, right here.
That's right, baby.
This is where we met, right here. So, 4 or 5 years later, here we are again, come full circle, and
Yeah, man, dude, I'm so happy to see you, bro.
Likewise.
Yeah, we're doing this episode. It's a different format. It's a conversation. I want to know, like, what's up with you, how things been going, and yeah, man, let's start there, and who you are. That way, people that haven't heard you before, how do they get a hold of you, and what do you do?
Yeah, so my name is Sean Espinoza with SC Shirts and Hoodies. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an investor. This world has broke me into other avenues. It gave me the money to invest in other avenues. So I consider myself an investor, an entrepreneur, more than just a printer. I'm not just a printer. Maybe that's how I came into this industry, but it's definitely not where I'm going, and it's definitely not where I'm at now. I have multiple, thanks to you, thanks to the opportunities that have been presented to me. It gave me the capital to be able to invest in other areas.
Ooh, I love that.
So yeah, this opened the door to many. Just one DTG changed my life. A lot of people don't understand how, if you put in the work and you put in the hours, how it could change your life. A lot of people that know me now, and they see the successes, and they see the glitz and glamour. They see the new cars, they see the clothes, they see the trips, they say I'm lucky. Well, you know how it is. You're a business owner, so 18-hour days is never lucky.
Yep.
It's just I'm working 3 times the amount that the normal person is working. I'm putting in 3 times the hours, so obviously I'm going to get to my goals 3 times as fast. It's not a rat race. I'm not in the 9 to 5. I hire people to come work the 9 to 5. But even at that point, I have all my employees. I make them all open their own companies when they come to work for me, because I don't want them to work for me. I want them to work for themselves. I want them to be able to enjoy the same benefits that, now as an entrepreneur and an investor that I am now. I want them to enjoy them successes. So if I could show them, it builds my team, and it builds a different type of camaraderie when the people around you actually, when I eat, we all eat. I've always said that, and there's nobody on my team that can say otherwise.
Man,
so that's pretty much the direction I'm going with what I'm doing. So,
dude, I love that, and I'm so happy you bring that up, because it's especially in our industry, is not talked about at all, and enough. If you look at my bio, it says investor, and everybody should be doing that, because especially if you came from nothing, but you have an opportunity to create something, create cash flow, create money, create some sort of foundation, everybody should be calling themselves an investor, in my opinion. Why do you think that doesn't happen?
I think a big problem, not in the industry, but a big problem in life, is people will project their fears and their failures onto you. They'll tell you, oh, you can't do that. You'll never be able to do that. You can't do that. You won't be able to do that. So I think a lot of us sometimes get into, myself included, we got into the motion of actually, because we trust this person, we have love for this person, they've known us our whole life, parents included. Sometimes I see with some of my employees that their parents don't believe in what they're doing. And I think that discourages us, because we have so much trust and love for those type of people. But sometimes not everybody is meant for the journey that you're on. Sometimes a lot of people, regardless how bad you want other people to experience your experiences and to experience your wins, not really your losses, but to experience your wins, they can't come along for the ride, because sometimes not that many spaces in the car to go on this ride. So they have to, unfortunately, just watch from the sidelines. And I think if we start taking control of our emotions, the way we feel about ourselves, we get a lot further. Because if we listen to everybody, I would have never been in the position that I'm in now.
100%. So what I'm hearing is you got to make sure you're taking responsibility.
Accountability and responsibility is the number one thing in business. Customer is always right. Me, I focus on the relationship. That means more to me than the dollar, right? I'm away, I'm in Long Beach. There's problems that pop up every single day. Somehow or another, one of the guys that we have working, one of the artists didn't get a mock sent out. The client's a little frustrated. They have a deadline. I could simply just say, hey, it is what it is. I text them back. I said, give them their order for free, right? That, because to me, that relationship means more than the monetary amount, right? You're going to take losses in business every day. So I think the sooner that you can be accustomed to taking those losses, obviously you got to minimize the losses, because the losses, 3 shirts out of an order, I'm at the point where I'm no longer in the house. I've been out the house for a long time with my business. So I have employees, I have overhead, 3 hoodies, I broke it down, and I think that's why last time we spoke about not just hiring people, hiring the right people.
Yep.
Because, a 3 hoodie loss is a whole lot more than just the $45 that the hoodies cost. You start talking employees, if it's screen print, resetting it up, if it's DTG, pre-treating, rebagging, like all that. People, I think, as startup businesses, and when I say startup, I'm referring to the people that are, in their garages, in their houses, just, because that's where, most of us don't have, moms and dads with a lot of money. We got to build it from the ground up, and it puts a different perspective, and it puts a different respect on what we're doing. So when you build it from the ground up, and you've pre-treated shirts, you've pre-treated thousands of shirts, you've printed thousands of shirts, you've had headaches, you're holding your head in your hands at night. If you haven't experienced that yet, those are what make you. The only 2 things happen under pressure: pipes break or diamonds are made.
Let's go, baby.
So, I perform well under pressure. Like a lot of my clients, they're professional athletes, boxers, MMA. They take a fight on a week notice. I got to be able to perform. I go to the fight, I've got to be ready to work. I use other people's shops for last minute patches, last minute shirts. So that's why I say coming to these is important, because you meet people from everywhere, and being able to have that network is almost more important than the money. Network over network. So that's kind of like, the direction that I go. I try to perform under pressure, because not every shop could perform under pressure. People call me with a deadline. Oh, we got a short deadline. What's your deadline? 4 days. That's no deadline. We're used to overnight and everything. So, I've accustomed my guys, and I've accustomed myself to being able to perform under pressure. And I think that's when it's really important, is being able to perform when nobody else can. That's what sets us apart.
I love that. And how long did it take you to figure out what your niche is going to be?
I still don't know.
Yeah.
It changes. You have to evolve with the clientele base that's coming your way. When I first started, it was friends and families. And as I evolved, I started selling to oil rigs, the guys on the oil rig, just 1s and 2s, 3s and 4s. From them, COVID came. What did that produce? A whole lot of clothing lines. So I adapted to the environment. I sold clothing lines. That's what I did. That's how I built. From there, it was the whole YouTube channel, being able to utilize that as a marketing. And then from there, it got me into dogs, which is completely different from any printing. Frenchie's, $30,000 dog is my first dog. From there, it got me into the boxing world, and there we're just breaking down doors now. I know where, it took all of that to say where I want to go. Now this year we got some big projects coming up, so I don't want to really speak about them too much.
Dude, I love that. One thing, that is super important, I think everybody has to lean in somehow, is having the confidence to push through and picture yourself successful, and then do the things that are required, right? You can't visualize your way into success, but what's giving you the confidence to keep growing and keep pushing, and then seeing and figuring out what's your next step?
What gives me the confidence? The small wins. The small wins give me the confidence. When I remember, I don't tell this story too much because it kind of offends people around me, so I don't say it too much. But when I first started, I had a DTG in my living room, right next door to, right next to my couch, and we were watching boxing. And I said, man, one day these boxers are gonna be wearing my stuff. Everybody there, we're a big boxing family, so everybody there laughed at me, and now we have close to 40 fighters. So
there you go, baby.
Brandon Moreno, we have UFC champions. I just got a call yesterday. Masvidal needs, Anthony Pettis, Masvidal, and Brandon Moreno fight on the card next month. and they need everything. So, for me, those are them small wins that, I guess people doubting me is what motivates me. So that's a key motivation for me. Is I love when I'm doubted, because when I come through, I just smile.
And then it helps you.
It helps me with my own confidence, to being able to gather the small wins and build off of them small wins. Simply making 2 free shirts for somebody that gave me information on some dogs, broke me into this whole boxing scene that's just crazy. It changed my life, especially when I'm a boxing fan. So right now I'm living the dream. It got me into, we spoke off camera, real estate, trying to get into real estate. That one DTG changed my life to a point where, shit, what do I invest my money on next? What can we invest in? How can we triple this, quadruple this? And you have downturns too. It's not always ups. It's being able to recognize the downturns. You have bad years too.
What made you decide to invest versus blow it on bottles?
See, and it's funny, right? I posted something for New Year's, and I think you seen it, and I think you liked it. It said something along the lines of, if you're out popping bottles, if you ain't who you think you are, if you aren't who you think you are, and you're out popping bottles tonight that you can't afford, all you're celebrating is failure, right? And I truly stand on that. I believe that, because I surround myself, a lot of my, they're boxers, they're dedicated. It's a poor man's sport. So just seeing how dedicated they are fighting at the gym on Monday, see what I'm saying? Yeah. There's no quit. So I think seeing that, like, to me, popping bottles doesn't get me a lot. Unless I'm taking a client out and we could go have a drink and that dinner is going to produce me money. That's an investment. It's not simply just going to have the good time. That's the end goal, right? But the end goal ultimately is you're clocking in when you want to clock in, if you want to clock in, but you're eating. You know what I mean? But what I've learned is it takes a lot of headaches. It takes a lot of losses. It takes a lot of lessons. The best lessons in life costed me money.
100%.
So learning those lessons and learning how to, sometimes you get beat up. This ain't easy. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you get beat, and all you can do is just roll with the punches, and hope that, you just survive the round, basically, and make it to the next one. As long as I can make it to tomorrow. There's some days the losses just accumulate, It'll start with a stubbing your toe in the morning, and before you know it, you're 50 grand in the hole in one day off of one order that got messed up. We had a $20,000 loss last week, and it unfortunately costed some people their jobs. But I'm the type of boss, I'll give you a million chances. I just feel like once you start playing with my money, I gotta make changes.
Exactly.
So it's being able to embrace the losses and learn from it, and I surround myself with only entrepreneurs. Even if you work for me and you clock in, you're an entrepreneur outside of the shop. So I'm going to teach you guys, and I'm going to show you guys the losses that I take, to hopefully you can somehow use it in your business, in your line of business, whatever you're doing outside of here, to try to minimize your risks. Nobody's teaching me this.
No. And that's the other side of things, is nobody really teaches you. So you either have to hustle and learn yourself, lean into whatever you can, mentors, follow YouTube University, all of that stuff to grow. So why do you think a lot of people in the industry just go about their life and they don't invest in themselves, they don't grow, they don't push?
Matt, sometimes maybe the failures get to them. Sometimes maybe the critics get to them. The naysayers, we have plenty of those. We have more of those than we do have people that support us. So I think when you find a good support group and you do have a crew, like, I think a couple years ago we had a conversation. I was hiring just people I knew, and unfortunately you can't do that. And we hear people say this all the time, right? You can't hire friends and family. You can't. It just doesn't work. And I think all entrepreneurs has to hire their friends and family, right, to learn the lesson. Now I just go for the best, right? Like, it's cheaper to just overpay my employees and have a high expectation than to try to train a person for 3-4 years, and then it just gets to a point where they can't keep up anyway, and you got to unfortunately let them go. So what happens to all the time and money that's lost, right? So trying to avoid those losses and minimize the losses is kind of the important thing when it comes. That's what I'm trying to do right now, is hire the best.
That's great.
I don't have to know the work. I don't have to know everything. I just have to hire somebody that knows the best, that can do the best job and perform the best. And I think accepting that and taking off the hat of I need to do everything as the business owner, and letting go and being able to trust your team is when you're going to really see the financial.
And how did you end up figuring out, how long was it? How painful was it to figure that out?
I mean, this is recent that I've switched this mindset, within the last 3-4 months. I was the bottleneck of the company, because I'm such a perfectionist. I want every order to go out perfect. I print the orders, and I was printing, but I make sure orders go out as if it's for my mom, if it's for me. If I'm not willing to pay for it, why am I going to expect somebody else to pay for it, right? So realizing, and having team members that are holding me accountable and helping me realize, like, we just need, in order for this to get to the level that it needs to go, we need those type of people, so whether it takes going to steal other printers or more experienced people from other shops and overpaying them, I'm fine with that, because I go to sleep comfortable. Like right now, we just had 3 shifts running. We're a print shop running 24 hours. You don't hear about print shops running 24 hours.
I love that.
Now, we were killing it. I was staying there from 5 in the morning during Christmas season till 11, 12 at night, going home for 3-4 hours. And, getting back to the shop before my first shift starts. A lot of people don't want to put in that type of work, but that's the type of, they want to pop the bottles, right? They want the G-Wagons, they want the G63, they want the $100,000 chain, they want all this stuff, but they ain't putting in that type of work, so it's never going to come. Like, you could be good, you could have talent, right? There's some people that are really freaking talented in this industry. You can't cheat the grind.
No.
You got to put in that work. That's the only way, right? Even now, I hire the best. I'm over here. My team is cranking. They're making money right now.
Ooh, I love to hear that.
As I'm at the show, and I'm not worried. This is the first year where I'm not worried. I haven't even thought about the show or the shop. I'm over here enjoying myself, doing a podcast right now.
There you go.
And they're making me money.
You're expanding. You're in expansion right now.
I'm hunting for the, new equipment. Every year I'm growing. So, and every year I'm just adding more and more in equipment. So you got to roll with the punches, whether they're good or bad.
Dude, that's so good to hear, because a lot of people take too long to push through and exit themselves out of doing the actual work, being the printer, being the guy, or girl.
And sometimes, when I got into the boxing industry, I was cutting and sewing shorts on a $50 Walmart machine. You know what I'm saying? Now I have a crew where I give them the design and it's full cut and sew, right? I went 4 years without making $1. These are professional athletes. The shorts that we were cutting and sewing, and a lot of people don't even know what we were doing. ESPN, DAZN, huge platforms. Never made $1. Wasn't up until recently we started making money, but now I charge what I want to charge.
And so you did it for free, you invested, and just getting your name out there is pretty much how you did that?
That's pretty much how I did it. A lot of stuff is for free. A lot of stuff. But and a lot of people ain't willing to do that.
No.
But it built me. It built me to who I am. It built that name of the company,
And you're getting
able to perform under pressure.
Yeah, and you're able to get referrals. You're able to get the next fight. Are you charging now for the next fight merch, or how are you capitalizing?
Contracts now. I want contracts. I'm to the point where you got 40 fighters. Let's sign a contract. I want every fighter, right? From the person that has no name to your biggest name. I want them all. I want the contracts. That's kind of where we're going now. I want to see my logo on the ring.
Contacts equals contracts, baby.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the direction. This year, God willing,
I want to see that, baby. I'm going to see it.
I'm putting together an amazing team right now on the back scenes that, we're working. We're working. We're going to have our own fighters this year.
Dude, I feel it. Dude, I'm so happy you're here. Like the energy that you're pumping out right now is awesome, bro. So what's up? Like, what has you fired up for 2024?
The failures from 2023. Right.
But how about what kind of wins are you looking for 24?
Financial wins?
Everything.
Financial wins, you know, I want to break 4 million this year. That's my
Dude, let's go. That's a great goal, baby.
It's, you know, last year I had some sales guys that I thought they had the best interest. You know, they lost me some big contracts, you know, $1 million here, $500,000 here, and that adds up pretty quick. And it, you know, when you have those type of contracts, you have to baby them. You have to make sure as a business owner, you can't just trust in the people around you. Sometimes you do have to just double check. Like, and I don't want to sound like I'm going against what I said earlier, right? But sometimes you have to double back and just peep in the room to make sure everything's on the up and up.
Do a spot check.
You spot check, and you as the business owner you have to be intimately involved. I think that's where I'm at right now. Even though I'm intimately involved in almost every deal, I want to know who the customer is, right? I'm working this year, it's mostly based on relationships. That's what I'm doing, is I'm strengthening the relationships that I had. And the new clients, I'm making sure that I'm solidifying those relationships, because they go to Custom Ink online, they don't get the relationship. They don't have somebody that they could call on a whim at Custom Ink. With me, with SC Shirts and Hoodies, and with our company, they know who they could call, and they know we have a slogan: we don't miss. We've had boxing trunks lost in the mail, and they fight tomorrow. I've pumped out a next set, 6 hours, got on the next plane to Arizona, hand delivery. Like, we don't miss. When I say we don't miss, we don't miss. We missed one time, and this one time, inexperience got me, and my overconfidence got me. And we missed one time. Even though I was able to make it right in the end, it was a near miss, but we haven't missed. So, no, it's just, you know, when you live by that slogan, like, I do whatever it takes to make it happen. Even if I lose money for that certain client, that client's always going to remember that. And that's what you want, is you want them to keep coming back. It's hard to keep finding new better clients, you know. I don't need 100,000 clients. I just need good clients.
I love that.
And even though it takes a while to find them, when you find them, don't let them go.
Super good. What's it looking like? You know, I think we're at time, but like, what's exciting equipment wise, tech wise, are you seeing here at the show? We're in Long Beach. It's buzzing. Like, what are you seeing that you like?
Honestly, DTF is kind of solidifying its position in the industry right now. That's what I'm seeing. You know, I have screen print, we have DTGs, we have embroidery, sublimation, and there's just that niche for DTF. As bad as, you know, I didn't want to get one, like, I have no choice. The industry is pushing me to get one. So
there you go, baby.
Like, you gotta adapt to the environment.
100%. You gotta adapt, you gotta push through, and you gotta see where the market is, and like, give value to your
You can't be
clients.
scared.
Nope.
You know, you can't be scared. I gamble. I'm a gambler, you know, and I gamble when it comes to money. So I'm never scared to pull a trigger on nothing, you know. And if it works, I make it work. There isn't if it works, you know, I'll figure out a way to make it work. You know, we don't miss at my company, so we haven't missed yet.
I love that slogan, man. We don't miss.
We don't miss.
Awesome, man. We'll do it super good to chop it up with you.
Thank you.
It's a different format this time. I really like it because
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And whatever we could do to bring you some value.
Likewise.
And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you get to your targets, helping you get to your targets, and hope that the stuff that we put out motivates you and others to get after it and become the investor.
Sure. We're there.
Let's go, baby.
Can't stop, you know, and it's important to surround yourself with people like-minded, you know, because them people that aren't like-minded, they'll drag you down for sure, and it'll cost you money in the end.
Big time.
I'd rather be lonely, solo, the only lion, than to be surrounded by, you know, people that don't have the same goals in mind. So stay focused.
So good, baby. Awesome, man.
I appreciate it.
All right, you too, brother. Thank you.